What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about flashlights. So as you can see, I've been into flashlights for a long time, probably 5 or 6 years. I've got tons of videos on my YouTube channel when it comes to reviewing flashlights. Not an expert by any means, but definitely an enthusiast. It's been exciting to be into flashlights over the last 5 or 6 years. The technology has skyrocketed over the last 5 years. It's just amazing. Remember the old mag lights? These used to be king of the hill. A lot of cops, security guards carried these things. Incandescent bulb pumping out maybe 100 lumens if you're lucky. That's it. These are probably better suited for cracking skulls than actually lighting up a warehouse or something. Alright, so let's unbox the Thrunite TC20. Look at that. So there is the star of the show. Beautiful flashlight for sure. And what makes this flashlight special is that this flashlight is putting out 3,800 lumens out of such a small form factor. Fits nicely in the hand. As you can see there, I got fairly large hands. But yeah, it fills up my hand pretty nicely. It actually feels good in the hand too because the size is actually thicker than normal. This is a 1-inch diameter flashlight, fairly tiny. This one is much thicker because of the battery. The battery is actually a different battery. It's not an 18650. Now I'll show you in the video later. Let's look on the box real quick. Foam to protect it when it's in transit. User manual, thank you card, protective bag, nylon holster if you want to carry this on your hip or mount it somewhere. It's got a D-ring on there. If you want to hook this onto your backpack, whatever. You got your lanyard for keeping it on your wrist, and there's your charging cable, your micro USB cable. And just to note, it does come with a couple extra O-rings to keep the water out and a spare button gasket to keep it watertight. Alright, so let's take a closer look at this beautiful beast from front to back. The head is obviously a lot larger than your standard EDC flashlight. For example, here's a Surefire Peacekeeper, more of a duty EDC type flashlight, and significantly bigger on the head there. The ring here on the bezel, it looks like a brushed aluminum style. And then this glass lens here, this is actually an anti-reflective, hardened, ultra tough glass lens. So the LED in the Thrunite TC20 is huge. Look at the size of that thing. That's a second generation XHP 70 LED. And that's what allows you to get that high output, high performing 3,800 lumens, along with the circuitry and the battery as well. And just for comparison, here's the Surefire Peacekeeper. Look at the size difference of these LEDs. This one here, the Surefire, is pumping out 600 lumens, and the one next to it, the Thrunite, is pumping out 3,800 lumens. Pretty nuts, right? That's cool. And for you fellow flashlight nerds out there that got to know the candela, Thrunite advertises a max candela of 25,580. The reflector surface inside here is an orange peel, so it's like a bumpy reflective surface, and it helps the light particles bounce around a little bit more, good for a flood. The LED is set somewhat deep inside the head for a flood flashlight. If you really want to get good flood, you'll see that the LEDs are very shallow in the head for searchlight, floodlight capabilities. But if you want a thrower, you want the LED to be deeper inside the head, so that's super deep on this one here. So this is like halfway as far as the setting of the LED. So that should give you a decent throw and decent flood. Combination of both. That's nice. Moving down, you can see it's got pretty large heat sinks on the head to help dissipate some of that heat, because LEDs do pump out a lot of heat. Here's your mode button on the side here. So you can cycle through the different modes, turn it on, turn it off, and then cycle through. We'll go through that in a minute. Moving down, you can see it's got knurling nicely on the bottom here for grippiness when your hands are wet. So on the back, as you can see, it does not have a tail clicky. Most of the gun guys are going to want a tail clicky. So this is not really designed for law enforcement. This is more for guys with property, security guards checking property, farmers, hunters, fishermen, things like that, that don't need a tail clicky. But you do have provisions for a lanyard, which is nice. So again, like if you're out there for hours at a time searching wide areas, you can put this on your wrist and you're not going to drop it in the mud. You're not going to drop it in a stream. You're not going to lose it. So the nice thing about having a wider base with no rubberized tail clicky, it does make it really easy to tail stand at the campsite. So if you need to light up your area, just put it on the table and you can light it up just like that, or inside your tent or whatever. But if you put it on the bezel, you're going to get zero light. As you can see, it's on. You get zero light. So just something to note. I know some people like to be able to have a little bit of light real quick by putting it on the bezel like that. This is the Black Scout Survival by Wildtac. So some people like that. The body of the flashlight is made out of T6061-T6 Type 3 hard anodized aluminum. So it's very high quality and very durable. Alright, let's take a look at the battery. You just unscrew the tail cap. You can see the quality of the threads here. Nice big threads. There's your O-ring right there to keep the water out. And here is the humongous battery. That thing is a beast. This is a 26650 5000 milliamp lithium ion rechargeable battery. And just to give you an idea how big this thing is, here is a 18650 lithium ion rechargeable battery, 3400 milliamps. So pretty dang huge. Thrunite advertises the length to be 119 millimeters or 4.6 inches, 42 millimeters at the widest, which is 1.6 inches, and 33.5 millimeters at the narrowest, which is 1.3 inches. Thrunite advertises the weight of the flashlight to be 148 grams. That's without this humongous battery. So my scale shows that it is 148 grams. Let's see how much it weighs with the 5000 milliamp battery in here. These batteries do add some weight. 245 grams, or in ounces, that's going to be 8.6 ounces. That's still not that bad. You can throw it in your back pocket still. So of course the other searchlight option from Thrunite is the TN40S. This is not going to fit in your back pocket. It's bigger and it throws a lot further and probably lasts a lot longer, but definitely not going to be portable in your back pocket. Alright, so to charge this flashlight, it's really simple. A lot of people like this feature on flashlights, especially this type of flashlight that's meant for, you know, search and rescue kind of applications for the most part. You have a rubberized port cover. You just peel it back and that exposes a micro USB port built right into the side of the flashlight, which is nice. Then you take your included micro USB cord, plug that in, and then now you can plug this flashlight into the dash of your car, or at the desk of your office or whatever, or even at home, and then just let this thing charge. Just sit it there and let it charge. You don't have to worry about a docking station for the batteries. You don't have to unscrew the cap and take the batteries out. None of that. It's just ready to go. Super simple. I like that. Some people don't like it though, I'll be honest. Some people don't prefer this. It's just a personal preference thing. Some people would rather just have this completely sealed up and then just take the battery out when they want to charge it. So it's just a personal preference. I don't think it's good or bad. It's just whatever you want personally. Me personally, I like charging my flashlights and other devices off this 20,800 milliamp power bank by Brio Lux that I got on Amazon. This thing is awesome. It even has a digital readout to tell you how many percentage you have left and also how many volts that the USB port is pumping out. And with this setup, I don't have to worry about having an available USB port in my vehicle or in the building. They advertise that this is waterproof down to 2 meters IPX8 standard, and that roughly equates to about 6 feet 5 inches approximately. So this is not a dive light by any means. You shouldn't take this going in deep water, but in general this should survive a rainstorm and bad weather in general. So rain or snow, you should be good to go. Alright, so let's fly through the output settings real quick. If you hold the button down, it's going to go to Firefly. Alright, Firefly is going to be really low, as you can see right there. That's going to be 0.5 lumens for 37 days. So if you're stuck in a cave, hopefully you have enough water and food for 37 days. But you for sure, if you have this flashlight, you're going to have light for 37 days. Pretty good. Alright, so low is going to be 38 lumens for 46 hours. It's actually not bad. After that, you got medium, 320 lumens for 10.2 hours. And then after that, you got high, which is 1800 lumens for 145 minutes. And then double click for turbo, which is 3800 lumens for 130 minutes. Boom. Look at that. That's pretty nuts. All right, so to get to turbo, you double click, and then to get strobe, you double click again. Ouch, that hurts. And as with all high performance flashlights nowadays, it does have a memory feature, meaning whatever you left off, that's what it'll turn back on to. So for me, I left it on high, turn it off, comes back on high. If I went down to low, turn it off, turn it back on, it comes back on low. Medium, turn it off, comes back on medium. High, turn it off, comes back on high. So that's nice. It will not remember strobe, firefly, or turbo. All right, so let's take the Thrunite TC20 out into the desert and see what this thing can do. All right, so here's the Thrunite TC20. My son is down there. You can see him. He's probably a good, I don't know, almost 100 yards away. That's pretty good. Woo! For such a small light, this thing has some serious power. So my son's playing with his RC car down there in this ravine, and you can clearly see how powerful this thing is. I can see all the way out to the end of this ravine, and then it floods the entire ravine from one end to the other. This is a great little searchlight for how tiny it is. That is awesome. And then over here you can see what it looks like in the open desert. It actually has a nice hot spot right down the middle. That probably helps with the throw. But yeah, I'm lighting up this entire desert, no problem here. If I was using this as a searchlight on my property, this thing is definitely a beast. Let me turn it off and show you how dark it is out here. It's pitch black. And then turbo. Yeah, that's nice. Alright guys, so there you have it. That is my review of the Thrunite TC20. This is one of my favorite flashlights right now because it's just so small yet so powerful out in the open desert. I really like this for a search and rescue light. I love my big search and rescue lights for sure, but this one you can throw in your back pocket, and that's the biggest difference. If you want a really good performing search and rescue flashlight that fits in your back pocket, that's lightweight but it's crazy powerful at 3800 lumens, I think you should seriously take a look at the Thrunite TC20 for sure. Alright guys, so if you want to buy this flashlight, go ahead and hit the link below the video that I'm going to provide for you guys. That'll send you to the Thrunite website. I know I packed a lot of information in this video guys, but I really like to show you guys all the details on flashlights that I really like a lot. Hopefully you guys appreciate that. Hit that like button to support my channel. Really appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. And leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about the Thrunite TC20. Pretty cool. Thanks a lot guys. Stay safe.